Good morning and welcome to another edition of Health, Wealth, and Wisdom in Black Spaces. As we conclude Black History Month, I want to give you some little history of it. I'm your host, Tim Alexander. So, as Black History Month 2026 concludes, it marks a historic milestone, the 100th anniversary of the national movement to commemorate Black history. This year's theme, A Century of Black History, commemoration, underscores that Black history is not a separate narrative, but a central, foundational pillar of the American story. This is the origin story. Black History Month began as Negro History Month in 1926. That's now exactly 100 years ago. Founded by Dr. Carter G. Woodson. He chose February to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Okay. This evolution started as a week-long effort to ensure Black stories were not erased, grew into a federally recognized month in 1976. Okay, so the 2026 theme, a centennial year, is a call to promote, protect, and preserve this history as a daily practice rather than an annual add-on. So, so in other words, Black history don't just ends in February. It's a daily practice. Here are some of the key milestones in Black history: redefine American rights for all citizens. This highlight how key milestones in Black history redefine American rights for all citizens. Legal equality. Brown versus Board of Education, 1954, ended legal school segregation, a major step for national education equity. Democratic expansion, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, secured and protected voting rights, expanding participation in American democracy. Okay, scientific and cultural leadership, from the brilliance of NASA's Katherine Johnson to the leadership of Barack Obama, Black Americans have driven the country's progress in science, politics, and the arts. The modern relevance, current dialogue. In 2026, the conversation continues through modern movements like Black Lives Matter and the opening of the National Museum of African American History and Culture, which cements these stories at the heart of the nation's capital. Ongoing advocacy. Leaders like rest in peace Jesse Jackson continues to bridge the gap between 20th century civil rights and the contemporary social-economic equality. Educational success. Today, high school attainment among younger Black populations is on par with the national average, which is a good thing, reflecting a century of rising educational empowerment. A living legacy. Black history is not confined to the past. It's a legacy in motion that lives in daily actions, achievements, and communities. Call to action. This is your call to action. As February ends, the mission remains to tell an inclusive and accurate history of the United States. To quote, we do not celebrate because they see us, we celebrate because we see ourselves. I want to repeat that. We do not celebrate because they see us, we celebrate because we see ourselves. So that since 1976, every American president has designated February as Black History Month and endorsed a specific theme. So the 2026 theme is a century of Black history commemorations, focus on a century of national commemoration of Black history. So all that to say is Black history is American history. There wouldn't be America without Black Americans. Um, so you could go back to the original sin, that free labor for 250 or over 300 years. Even after that, Jim Crow laws, segregation, all the way up. If you think about it, I was born in 75. Really, that's the first generation of black Americans in the 70s that had full equality. It's kind of hard to imagine. I was looking at a thing here. Let me pull it up. The guy, I think his name was, he was the last surviving slave. Um, let's see. Anyway, I think he died in 1976. He lived to be. He took a picture with our governor. I just had it up. But anyway, yeah, it was amazing to see that. It's like um, we got to continue to study, understand, so that won't be repeated ever. Um, First, and also on this Saturday, the last of February, I like to just keep the troops in prayers. As if you look at the news, you know what's going on in the Middle East. Keep the troops in your prayers. Like I said, I did 26 cities in the Air Force, so I've been at some of those bases that are right now that are catching some. Let's say they're in harm's way right now. So prayers to those soldiers, sailors, Marines that are in harm's way at this time. We just want to keep them lifted up. But yeah, Black History Month is important, even more so in these times right now. Keep studying. Like I said, I always talk about the brother from Haiti. Now I'm getting discombobulated with my names now. He influenced Dr. King and Malcolm, the brother from Haiti, and I can picture I can see his name, but he said we should be reading at least 4 hours a day. For the life of me, his name has left me. But anyway, yeah, we got to keep studying, keep learning, take it day by day with our learning, and see how it applies, and just observe, understand what's going on in the world. Try to be the positive. Try to be that change you want to see, and just keep at it. Don't be try to be positive in the world. You know, positivity is a force multiplier. And enjoy this Saturday morning, this Saturday day. Get recharged. Hopefully, find yourself in a church tomorrow if you can go. Like I said, and that's what I want to talk about today. Like I say, I'm staying consistent, trying to get a drop a podcast Tuesdays and Saturdays without fail. And sometimes I just want to get on here and ramble unsolicited advice about the state of Black America, because it's not all negative. We're doing some good things. We just got to continue. We got to give each other grace. Continue to love each other. Don't be, we always say, the old people say we crabs in a barrel. Well, be the one to change the narrative that we're crabs in a barrel. Because, you know, we always say that, but is it really true, or is it something we're perpetuating, that we're crabs in a barrel? Because I've seen blacks help blacks. So let's change the narrative. You know, as like that book said, as a man thinketh, so he is. You know, start thinking positive about your brother. Give each other grace out there. Too many of us, or you see it on the news all the time, too many of us, if you step on one of our person toes or something, you got to stand up, and then now you're in jail for the next 20 years because simply because somebody said the wrong thing to you or said something about someone, and then you took that as a front, and that quick 1 second decision has destroyed your life and other people's lives. Because when you go to jail, your family is pretty much in jail with you, not physically but mentally, because you know it's not good all the way around when you just could have just walked away. And I think we should be doing more so, doing more let go and let God type of mentality, and trying to meet people where they're at, and diffuse situation rather than putting gasoline on a situation. Even if you're a bystander to a situation, you know, like I talked about it in one of my first podcasts. Every conversation you come in contact with somebody, you either have a water or a pail of water or a pail of gasoline. You can pour water on a situation, or you can pour gasoline on a situation. Always reach for that bucket of water, you know, as much as you can. Reach for that bucket of water then, instead of that bucket of gasoline, to pour gasoline on a situation that's already about to get out of hand. Because we have to do better. When we know better, we do better. And we all we got at the end of the day. So we got to ride with each other, grow with each other, you know, cry with each other. But at the end of the day, we got to keep going, you know, helping one another, learning what we need to learn, help that brother, help that sister learn what they need to learn, and keep it and keep going with it. And that's my message for this Saturday, the 28th, as we close out Black History Month. Keep going. Peace out to the next time.